r/ask Reddit. What would 12-year-old you never believe about adult you? For almost 9 years, I've worked literally 1 minute away from a huge water park and I've never gone there. We never got that growth spurt we were promised. That sometimes, when I'm not paying attention, my mom's words slipped right out of my mouth. Sometimes it happens even when I'm paying attention. I'm too young to turn into her. My mother isn't always wrong. She's right about a lot of things, even if they didn't make sense when I was younger. Most subjective things though, no. That, I too, don't know what the duck I'm doing with my life. LOL, I think 12-year-old me knew more about what I was doing in life than I do. That I'm almost 40 and still don't have a stable full of horses. I just turned 40 and finally do have a horse of my own. It was well worth the wait, young me. I live in a whole ass other country and speak another language now. That definitely would have come as a surprise. I actually like exercise and physical activity. It's just pay class that sucked. School does a surprisingly good job of sucking every last bit of fun out of many subjects. Pay focused on competitive team sports. Horrible for non-competitive or less coordinated people. My school loved doing dance exercise. Every single year, without fail, we would have 1 or 2 terms of dancing. In grade 9, I got incredibly sick. My feet swelled up so much that I couldn't wear my school shoes. I was diagnosed with arthritis and given a letter from the doctor to excuse me from pay. It was one of those dance terms. She laughed at my letter because only old people get arthritis and then called me lazy. I tried really hard that term, but I still got a crappy grade because dancing when your feet are in excruciating pain is not very graceful. That I haven't gotten married. That's something I just assumed would happen and yet here we are and I'm still single. I think he'd also be surprised at how rough my teenage years were. I feel you're OP. Not only that I haven't gotten married but that I have spent the last 13 years single, and that I failed out of college twice and am only now doing well enough to finally get a bachelor's next year at 33. I didn't fail out, but I just stopped going a few times. Being in your early 30s getting the degree isn't that weird. That I found a girl that buys me Star Wars Lego at Christmas. Hey, you know that girl over there you think is really weird, you're going to marry her. That I have a kid taller than me. I'm not tall or anything, just never pictured being shorter than my 13-year-old. I'm 5 feet 7 inches and married someone who is 5 minutes and 10 seconds or taller. Our son is like 6 feet 1 inches at 17 and daughter is 5 feet 9 inches at 15. Probably makes sense considering my father-in-law is 6 feet 4 inches. Genetics are so cool. Same, I'm 5 feet 6, my husband is 5 feet 9, our 2 sons are 6 feet 4. That I actually like bees now and want to pursue beekeeping someday. I used to hate all bugs no matter what, but with more research, I realized that bees aren't so bad. Still hate other bugs though. How little I've accomplished. How many emotions were cancelled. We're all a little dead inside. That all of the things I said I'd always remember and never do as an adult, I've largely forgotten and probably do as an adult. 12-year me wanted to buy a boat instead of a house and then I could just live wherever I want and not have a job because I wouldn't have rent. 12-year me was kind of a genius. That I'm in bed usually by 8:45 every night, to sleep. That I still laugh at the exact same things. Still listen to the same music too. I'd still sit down for an all-night session of Dungeons and Dragons. I made it to 21. Same. Then I hit 25, and now I'm looking at 30. It's really weird to think that I didn't think I'd make it this far but I've somehow dragged myself through. That I've heard a pilot scream "Mayday Mayday" before ejecting. I'm an air traffic controller. That he would become a scientist after all. Being a dirt floor poor country kid seemed unsurmountable at the time. 12-year-old me would put a beat down on me for dropping out of college and smoking weed every day. 12-year-old me was also probably in better shape and would easily win that fight. Guess what? You're gay. Yes, so you know that new girl? The one you immediately wanted to spend all your time with as soon as you met her in 7th grade? The one where you just admired everything about her? That's a crush. All the homo. We never achieved that swan status. Still an ugly duckling. I read the Hans Christian Andersen story. It features many times of the ugly duckling saying I'm so ugly, I should just die. It's not a good moral. A better moral is you may be an ugly duck, but that's because you are really a dog, and someone out there thinks you are one heck of a dog. Just gotta find that person. She has friends. Good, supportive, long-term friends. That I'm overweight and I became a suit. That my hair would still be this long. I was on chemo from 11-14 and all I wanted was to get my hair back. I had luscious locks halfway down my back. I'm a boy, and I'm proud to say after 3 years of being off chemo my hair has restored to almost its old length. I'm eternally grateful for my life, and plan to live it to the fullest. I get that I'm not really an adult, but I'm as adult as I've ever been. That I would be a firefighter, yeah dude, you get to ride in the truck. That I am on my way to becoming a doctor. 12-year-old me would scream why. Rant about how doctors are the scariest beings ever and how the hospital drives you nuts. 12-year-old me really wanted to be a pilot. That I'm marrying the girl I had a crush on then. That I made it all 50 states. I know, kind of boring. That my husband to be and my dad, who's from Sinaloa, Mexico, would shake hands. I was pretty terrified about being into guys as a Latino male at 12, and even more terrified that my super conservative parents' family would find out. After a while I just said duck it, and let my fam choose if they wanted to be a part of my life. Luckily I was pleasantly surprised. I'm 25 and still haven't bought myself a RC car toy like I promised myself before. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.